something fun today. I've had this sign for a while. Hocus Pocus. This came from Walmart, I think last year or the year before, and it was only $4.44. That's an odd number. $4.44 when I got it, but it's really cute and I like it because the colors in there aren't really your super traditional colors, but we're going to try to play off of it's like a light pinky purple. It's like a light lavender and the orange. So we're going to pair that with a really fun ribbon. I have multiple spools of this because I'm trying to finish it up, but we have this. It's spooky and it's got, you can see it's got the candy corn, but it's got like aqua blue and it's got the pink and the light purple and some orange. So that's going to be our main ribbon for this project. Now this one, we are going to be making something a little different. I usually make larger wreaths, but this one is going to be smaller. This is one on one of those, I think it's one of those 10 to 15 inch work wreaths. So this is the smaller work wreath. I've had this for a while. I have a bunch, and honestly, I haven't made anything this size in a while, but I want to expand my shop to have lots of different kinds of things. So that's why we're going to use this today. So I've got this. I have already taken the liberty of cutting my mesh because nobody likes to see people cut mesh. Okay. But I have 2 different colors of mesh because these are the trendy colors for Halloween. Okay. I have orange and pink. Orange and pink. This is 10.5 inch mesh. I got this from Craft Outlet. I think that, no, actually, no, I ordered this. I got this from Craig Bachman. I ordered this myself. So this is for my own personal stash, but you can get this at places like Craft Outlet, DecoExchange, etc. But I cut this at 20 inches. I have 12 pieces of this 10.5 inch mesh cut at 20 inches a piece. So we've got that going on. So that's basically what we're going to be kind of doing, is just kind of putting the mesh in here. This is going to be a very simple wreath. I'm not really sure I'm actually going to put anything, I'm not going to stick anything else in here, right? I may not glue anything in, I may not put any picks. This might just simply be a sign, a ribbon, and some bows. I did one like that previously. That one, except I put a couple curls in, but I did that one mainly just trying to focus on that. I want to save the florals for like my bigger ones, and I'm trying to keep the cost of this down so I can have some lower priced wreaths in my store. So we are going to use this using the cruffle method. So we're going to take our mesh and we're going to put 2 pieces in each of these little tines. Okay. So each one is going to have 2 pieces. How are we going to put this in here? The cruffle method. If you are new to wreath making, the cruffle method is curl plus ruffle equals cruffle. So what we do is basically curl in the ends just a little bit, and the rest we just kind of like ruffle it up to end up with this. I personally like to make it on my board, so I will put it down, curl side up. Okay, it wants to go that way. I'm going to curl in my end, 1, 2, 3, curl in this end, 1, 2, 3, and then this lets me get a bit of a better, tighter cruffle. I don't really like to do it against my chest because, number one, I can't see it that well because it's right there and it's so big. But I just get a tighter ruffle that way. So I'm going to start on the outside. I'm just going to gently twist it just enough to hold it in there, because now I'm going to alternate. We're going to put a pink one in here too. I like to put in 2 cruffles in each set of twists, right? You don't have to, but this is how you get a nicer, fuller wreath, okay? There we go. And I'm trying to angle it a little bit. If you can see, they're not directly on top of each other. One's like this, one's kind of more like that. Kind of spread it out, but there we go. Okay. So I will be opening this up again when I go to put the ribbon in. So that's when I'll make it like a nice, super tight tug. Okay. So we got that one. We're going to go to the next one. Now you can decide just to put all orange and then pink on top, but I am going to like to alternate this. So I'm going to start then with putting my pink on the bottom and my orange on the top, because I like to alternate. There we go. Make a little pattern. Make a little pattern. Okay, now I'm going to go over and see my comments, because I haven't even had a chance to say good morning. How's everyone doing? I want to check in with my peeps. I know a lot of you are watching this morning. Thank you. I appreciate it. Here we go. Got Linda. Oh my gosh, Liz is watching us. Wild and Reeds. Liz is watching us from Spain. Oh my gosh. You got to follow her. And just watching her travel videos are amazing, but she is just amazing in general. Miss you. Love you. Come back safely. Her and her husband are in Spain, and their alter egos are Dieter and Helga. And sometimes in her travel videos, they make an appearance as the funny couple who likes to take the Instagram worthy shots. It's really funny. You guys got to follow her. Okay, here we go. Taking 2 more. All right. Now I'm going to go back to putting my orange first again. Again, the cruffle. Curling from the bottom in. 1, 2, 3. What this does is make sure that the ends of your mesh don't keep fraying. And if they do, it hides the fray. The only thing you might ever notice is some strings that kind of come along the outside with this, the top layer. And just snip it. If you see it, it's got a little, I like to call them chin hairs. Because at my age, we all have them. Little chin hairs. All right, put this one on. It does kind of get a little snaggy. So see, here's an example. Here's a really long chin hair. Whoa, that looks like the one I plucked last night. It's my nightly routine. Settle into bed, play my game. When I start to get sleepy, I bring out my magnifying mirror and my phone and a pair of tweezers. And I call it harvesting the crops. Because, I mean, it's bad. It's bad. All right, so here's where we're going so far. We just have three so far in here. And again, I'll be able to kind of, I'll twist it tighter once I know I'm going to put the ribbon on. I'm just kind of using that as a placeholder for now. Take my next set of 2. So how I did this, if you notice, it's already kind of paired with me. So I put the 2 rolls on top of each other, and then you pull it out, and then you just cut it once. So you're literally cutting 2 pieces of mesh at once. The rolls are just basically smacked on top of each other like twin beds or twin bunk beds, right? Works out perfectly. And now I'm going pink bottom. I think next week I might try to do, so I don't get into Halloween everyday type thing. We've got Mother's Day is over. Father's Day is this weekend. There are still items in my shop, sweetariadecor.com. I can still get those shipped out today if you order that. There's fishing wreaths, there's fishing mugs, all sorts of ideal Father's Day presents. Here we go. Next set, taking orange first. Roll, roll, roll. Did you guys do anything fun over the weekend? Let me know. What have you been up to? Linda has a booth at Painted Tree as well, one in Naperville. She just started there. So Linda, how's your booth going? Let me know. They've got Ladies Night coming up on Thursday night, so I'm going to try to push that on social media. I don't know if I'm actually going to go in person. I might try to. Because I think Ari is at the age where she can stay here by herself. Her sister and brother-in-law are downstairs, so it's not like she'd be alone. All right, coming around, we got 2 more to do on this level, and then we're going to go to the top. And there's only 5 on the top, so this one's going pretty quick. This is nice. Okay, doing pink on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cruffle, 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 cruffle. There we go. Stick it in. Get my orange. I went to see the live action Lilo and Stitch movie yesterday with Aria, where I literally drank like, I don't know, it must be like 64 ounces of high C orange. And apparently now my stomach does not like it because I was up till very early wee hours of this morning with reflux. Yay. Super fun. But it was a great movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay, putting the orange on the bottom, pink on top. Because there's 7 of them on the bottom, I am going to have a set where it's orange on the bottom, pink on the top. They're going to be 2 of them right next to each other. That's okay. No one's going to notice. Okay. Let's put the pink on the top. I hate how the comments go away. I want to see the comments. Just leave them there. Leave my comments. There we go. All right. It does feel weird to be making Halloween when I don't even have my pool open yet. I struggled with that all weekend. The chemicals, the green pool. I don't want to open it, but my daughter is insistent that I do. So yay. That was my weekend. All right, so this is what it looks like with just one layer done, okay? That's the outside. I'm going to do the top layer, and there's only 5 sets. So I'm going to start here with orange. I'm going to start right here. So here's my 2 pieces that are orange, orange, and pink on the top. I'm going to start right here doing pink or orange, pink on the bottom, orange on the top to kind of break that up, that spot, right? So we're going to do the opposite there. What a mess. There we go. I've got some orders that I have to ship out. I had some orders coming over the weekend, which was awesome. Very grateful for that. It was patriotic. And the other thing that sold I was very excited about is my pumpkin with the witch legs. She's going to a new home. Very excited about that. Also sold some supply orders I'm going to be getting out. I do have some supplies and lots of wreath kits at sweetariadecor.com, or you can also go through makeawreathkit.com if you're looking just for the kits. Here we go. But it's a nice way to make a wreath if you're new to this, or you just don't want to have to worry about matching the supplies and just want to get whatever it's already. The ribbon is, you either get it, it's already wrapped around, so it's 14-inch tails, or you get a whole roll. It depends on what type of kit it is. Okay, orange on the bottom. Wow, avalanche. Pink on the top. And I also placed a big order. I ordered some supplies from mbcrafts.com. I have an affiliate link. It's in my link tree, but my friend Max sells, he's got so much in his shop right now. I ordered lots of Halloween picks and goodies. So it'll be very exciting. I'm going to try to figure out what I'm going to make Wednesday night. I'm going to be live at 7 p.m. Central. Not sure what I'm making. I'm putting together stuff to do a Wicked wreath. Thinking about doing a little karaoke night, singing the soundtrack of Wicked with it. But I might actually save that for Saturday night. Yeah. Because right now my voice is not doing good. Yeah. All right. Just a couple more. It does get a little bit trickier. The more mesh we get in here, a little bit trickier to kind of try to find, to easily get into the set of tines. So I like to put them, you see here, I just put them poking straight up. It's a little bit easier to find. There we go. You know, I honestly forgot how full those little wreath forms can actually make a wreath. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, 2 more sets coming around here. I am glad I did not decide to go for a 12 by 6-inch sign, because I think that would have just gone across the middle a little too much and broken it up too much. So smaller, rounder signs, or like a small square, I think work best, in my opinion, on this size. I did also make some my own wreath attachments. I'll show you guys when I'm done. I tried. I'm dipping my toe back into trying to make some wreath attachments with just some foam board and some felt, trying to make some simple candy corns. Of course, I burnt the heck out of my fingers. That's why I'm scared to make wreath attachments. I hurt myself. I burned myself. That's how I got burnt at Crafters Convention back in, I don't know, was it 2021? Yeah, it was very, 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 very painful. And I did it again yesterday. And for my first set, they didn't turn out that bad. I'm going to refine it. Maybe at some point we can do it together in here. But the ones I made yesterday, you know, my best work? Probably not, but I think they look good from the front. Just don't turn them around, look at the back. Kind of like looking at me. It's better from the front, don't look at the back. All right, our last cruffle coming in. Curl, curl, curl. Curl, curl, curl. All right, cruffling it up. A little bow tie. I have to do that every time. Okay. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to find where I've got little, I'm going to find my chin hair. So I see one right here. Just going to pluck out the little strays. But overall, it looks pretty good. So let's measure how big of a wreath do we have here. Okay. That's going to be so cute. I'm very excited for that. So looking at it, it is about 20 inches wide and about 9 inches tall. So, I mean, she's fluffy. She's fluffy. She sure is. Okay. What I want to do next is go put in some ribbon tails. So I'm going to cut my ribbon tails. I'm going to use, as I said before, got several spools of this. I did have it in an orange, but I think I want to go with the pinkish one. And then this is my other ribbon. And then I have these two are going to be the ones that I use for my bow. Okay, so let's move this over to the side. Now, what I'm, oh, let's knock over the whole chair there, Linda. Why don't you? Okay, sure. Ugh. Ugh. What is going on? Sorry. I'm graceful. Ow. Calm, peace, serenity. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 14 inches on these tails or if I'm going to do 13. I'm going to cut one 14-inch tail right now. And I'm going to see if it's too long, because honestly, it has been so long since I made a wreath in this form that I just want to make sure it's not going to be too, I don't want to make my tails too long and then it's sticking out too much. But because it's in there pretty deeply, I think 14 might be good. Yeah, 14 is going to be good. Okay, so I got one. Which one has the least? I'm going to do this one first. I'm trying to use up my spools. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I got. I literally used that up, that's for sure. All right. Okay, and this ribbon tail board came from Hot Mesh Mom. There's lots of them out there. I personally love this one. I like that the inside is open because sometimes I will actually use it as a handle. Okay, I'm just going to dovetail these 3 right now by themselves. So dovetailing means I just kind of stack them up so they're even, and then I fold it in half. Okay, so this is the fold and that's the wired edge. I cut angle from the inside outward toward the wires. Sometimes do a little snip of the wire there. And you end up with a very pretty dovetail. This finishes the end, keeps it from fraying, and it makes it look, you know, finished. Okay, so we have 4 of these. I need 8 more. And I always have to get the tails off my board right away because I'm weird. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I have to make it. I gotta open another roll for number 8. Oh, guys. At least I got one. Oh, you ever have one of those days where you just feel like everything is kind of out to get me, right? It's not. It just feels that way. Oh, Lord, Linda. I see. I usually prep my stuff for this the night before, but last night I didn't. And yeah, so today I had to scramble. So I apologize that I was a few minutes late coming on. Here we go. Dovetailing these. I can't believe I literally just have to cut one. Well, if anybody's good at cutting one, it's me. Just ask my daughter. Hey, Aria, are you down here? Am I good at cutting one? Poor kid. She's been in the car with me. She knows. She knows. All right, here we go. Getting the plastic off. One lone 14-inch tail here. So that's bent over. I'm gonna trim this edge just to make it nice and straight. There we go. All right, 14 inches. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. I didn't even notice it, but it's got cute little tiny little teal spider in here too. We love the teal spider. I got to bring down I got to retake some videos of some of my previous works from last year. I have one that uses this ribbon. It is a huge swag. It's got this orange skeleton in it and all these goodies. I'm surprised it didn't sell because it's cute. It's a cutie. Okay. Now, hopefully I'll be able to get this all done in one. All right. But I think this is going to be cute, right? It's going to be kind of like that, that. Yeah. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yay! I'm not cutting out 12 of these at once, though. This is a thicker ribbon than the other one. So I can cut through it, but I'm probably going to cut these in sets of 4, just because I want to make sure I get a nice, crisp cut. There we go. Sometimes you try to cut too many at one time. That last cut part just doesn't really get the, doesn't trim it that cleanly. Okay, I left them stacked to 6. Let's see. Okay, not bad. All right. Oops. Okay, that's good. We're going to make a bow using these ribbons too. I just want to get the sign put on there first. I'm going to put in the tails, put in the sign, because then that's going to tell me how big I can make my bow. Kind of eyeballing things. I'm looking around, I'm trying to think, yeah, am I going to stick anything in this? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have anything stuck in here. I don't think so. Because again, I want to keep the cost down. Got a wide variety of different prices, styles, and whatnot. I might have to make some thin wreaths too, some pancake style, because here in Chicago, that's what sells. All right, these are going off to the side. I'm going to put them on my bow making tool so that they're over there. I think I might want to use that one instead. Yeah, I think I do. I'm changing which one I'm using for the second, I think. Yeah, I'm changing what other 1.5 inch I'm using. Okay, so the ribbon board is going to go away. Sign. I'll just put that over here. I want to see my comments, my chat people, my chat. What's going on in the chat? All right. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. My chat sometimes gets behind, so pop me a comment. Let me know if you guys can still see me. Make sure everything's going good. Okay, so how I do this is we're going to stack these on top of each other. I'm going to put that on the bottom and this cute one on the top because we want to see all the pumpkins and all our little pumpkin-y goodness, okay? Fold it in half. Make a crease because then that crease tells you where you need to pinch it. So I go like that. On the bottom layer, I'm going to have it kind of go down like that. So I like to just kind of like pre-bend it that way. So I'm just going to open up my set of tines, okay? And you notice the mesh doesn't pop out. It stays right in there. It stays nice. I'm going to put that right in there, okay? Push it in, twist it. There we go. Now I'm going to separate them out. Do this. All right. I like to alternate. You can decide to go like that, where it's on the outside and then the inside, but I like to alternate. So I like to put it in there like that. Okay. It is hard for me to do that showing you guys, so I'm going to go back and make sure that I like the placement and stuff. So there we go. Not happy with how that's laying. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try the X method. Okay, I'm going to lay them over each other like that in an X. And grab it down. Yeah, I like that better. So I put it more of a shape of an X. And it came out looking like that, which I think was a little bit easier. So I'm going to do that for this method. I'm just going to lay them over each other like an X. So let's do that. Like that. And like that. Okay. Kind of gather it up in the middle. Boop. Sorry, my daughter's being extremely loud upstairs. She's having fun gaming. I would like to tell her to be quiet, but I don't want to yell at you guys. You guys don't want to hear me yelling. Hopefully you don't hear her, but at least she's having fun for now because summer school starts in 2 days. Oh, that's evil. That's so mean. So mean that she has to go to summer school. It was my choice. She needs to. She's academically behind. Otherwise, I would be saying, hey, take the summer off. But she's got to catch up. So here we go. Pinch it just like that. In here. Twist, twist, twist. Aria, close the door. I don't know why she likes to game in my room. Then I go in there and the mess is all in there. I will go in at night and there's a bag of Cheetos in the middle of the bed. Cords are everywhere. Shoes are everywhere. And I keep trying to tell myself, just embrace it, Linda, because, you know, someday all this stuff won't be here and she won't be here to make a mess. And the whole mom guilt thing about just deal with it because someday they won't be here to do that. Oh, this is frustrating. So I go upstairs at night, and then the dog runs up ahead of me, and then I go up there, and her head is literally, she jumps on the bed, and her head is literally inside a bag of Doritos. I don't know where Aria keeps getting these bags of Doritos from. I keep them in one spot. It's like they miraculously appear. I think she's like got some Harry Potter spell where she could be like, Wingardium Doritosa, and then Doritos appear. I don't know. She's got like a supplier. Like she meets up in a dark alley. Hey, you got the nacho cheese? Yeah, man. All right, here we go. All right. And it sounds like my garbage men have already been here, so that is good. We took my giant bag of garbage, which was our pool cover, which completely shredded in the last storm. Yay. That was super fun. It wasn't so much pulling the pool tarp off as pulling out pieces of the pool tarp. I would grab it and it would just rip like tissue paper. Not the best quality tarp. I shall be leaving a review. And I don't normally leave bad product reviews, but that should have held up a little bit better. All right, here we go. This is the last one on the bottom. So we're going around, just kind of putting them in the bottom. Making that X shape, putting them in here. I know I usually have, sometimes I've been having the camera over here, sometimes I've been having it facing me. So just let me know which angle you guys like best. All right. This is not pretty to see. I understand that. I know. I know. It is what it is. I don't think people are here for my face. I hope not. Because then you're in the wrong place, man. You are in the wrong place. I did put makeup on today. I had an extra 45 seconds, so I put some little powder on, a little bit of eyeliner. Okay, I'm just still using that same X shape on the top. Let me show you that. Okay, same shape on the top, just like that. Just have 4 more sets to do. Then we're going to put in our sign, and then we are going to make our bow, which is my favorite part. I'm in it for the bows, baby. I'm in it for the bows. Okay. Go. 2 more. I'm actually going to stand up now so I can see it a little better. I enjoyed my little break sitting. Thank you for letting me sit. There we go. Or sign on. You can just have this. This is what we've got. This is our pretty little wreath so far. There we go. These are 14-inch tails. I cut this 2.5-inch ribbon at 14 inches. I could have maybe gone to 13, but I didn't want it to look too short once it got in here. Okay, now we're going to bring back our sign. Okay, so, oh, too bad I don't have a little screwdriver. I do, but it's got this little, hold on a second. I got to go get a screwdriver. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stay there. Stay there. Yes, the screwdriver. Here we go. Okay. Okay, because there's a metal hanger on the back and you can kind of see it over the top. So I'm gonna take this metal hanger off if I can, using just a Phillips head screwdriver. It's not working. Maybe this side will work. I didn't realize this was double-sided. Yay. Yay, this side works. Okay, here we go. Just taking the screws out because I'm gonna end up, so you can use cable tie mounts, or you can use staple gun. Now, the only thing that scares me about using a staple gun on this is I don't want to go through, because like the wood that's down here, this is like super, super thin. So the only thing I can really staple it into is the sides here. Okay, so I have to be very, very on point and not screw that up. Which is why I'm going to use cable tie mounts. I'm too afraid. Well, let me see. Well, I'm also out of staples, guys. So I think cable tie mounts it is. All right. My cable tie mounts. Okay. So how I'm going to do this, and I should have done this ahead of time, so I'm just going to have to be real careful when I go to put this on. But I'm using the cable tie mounts. Better safe than sorry. I can't get another one of these signs, so if I screw it up, I'm screwed. Ha! All right. I know for sure. Now, oh gosh, come on. I'm going to want to double up. I want really long pipe cleaners to help me really get through the back there. So the first thing I'm going to do is twist these into a really long pipe cleaner. Okay, I'm just twisting the ends together. Twisting together to make a really long pipe cleaner. Okay, just like this. Twisting, twisting. Here we go. All right, so I've got these that are going to run through the cable tie mounts. Now how I'm going to do this is I have some E6000. I have my pliers to remove the cap to the E6000. I'm just going to take off this. There we go. Take off the little plastic sticker thing. I'm going to put the E6000 directly onto the sticky foam part. All right, now I got to open this tube. All right, I'm going to put a, no. I'm going to put just a dab in the middle of each of these. Little dab. Little dab. Not too much. All right, I'll put the cap back on. My only complaint about E6000 is like, ugh. All right, so now put them more like top and bottom. So I'm gonna put one up on the top, one down at the bottom. Okay. Now, that's not going to be enough to hold it because that takes like maybe, I don't know, several hours to cure. So I'm going to go around it with hot glue. Okay. Just going around it because that's going to kind of hold it in place on my sign as the E6000 cures. Just going around there. Going around. And I'm going to let this dry. So I'm going to put this off to the side, but I'm going to kind of take a look. Okay. For my bow size. So I'm going to put this off to the side. We're going to go to the bow making now. Okay. I'm not going to use any 4-inch because this is a smaller wreath and I don't think it really calls for 4-inch ribbon at this point. So I'm going to move this beautiful baby off to the side down there. I'm going to try to figure out what do I want to do here. So take that off of there. I'm going to start. So I'm going to make one of those, a traditional looking bow, okay, where it's got the two tails coming down. Sometimes I'll make one that has like a tail coming down and a tail coming up out of the top. I don't think I want to do that for this wreath. I think I'm going to do a traditional. Okay, so that's going to come down. I've got about an 11-inch tail on there. This is my Easy Bows Design Pro. There's a link in my link tree. There's no shame in using a bow maker. Most of us have to. I have to. Tendon issues in my hand. I hate when people give me crap for it. Look, it doesn't matter how a bow gets made, as long as it gets made. Okay, it's a 6-inch. Actually, I'm going to go like a 6.5-inch loop over there. 6.5-inch. I don't want this to be too massive, so 6.5. Then I'm pinching and twisting on the right-hand side, okay, so I can see the back side here. Now I'm going to pull this over and make sure it goes 6.5. Now you notice I didn't squish it down. I'm just following the natural curve of the ribbon, okay? Now, I can probably do another set of loops. So I'm going to pinch and twist again. Here we go, 6.5-inch. Pinch and twist. 6.5-inch here. All right, bringing them down. All right, cutting a little past where the other one is dovetailed, because then I need room to dovetail it, and then it'll be even. Okay, loop up, loop down on the right, and then this one is going to have the bottom loop up and that loop down there. Okay, and this is what we have so far. Okay, and you notice I have enough on the spool where I can make another bow with this. Usually if I make a bow for a wreath, I will make a second bow with the leftover stuff because you don't want to have a bunch of leftover scrap rolls. You might as well do it. Bows do sell on Etsy. Okay, now we're going to come in with our spooky pattern. Now here's the thing. This is directional ribbon. You can see that there is writing on this, okay? So we're going to have to be careful when we're making our bow to make sure that this is, that we follow the direction of the directional ribbon. So I'm going to start by doing this. So we're going to kind of do this in like 2 parts, okay? So I'm going to lay this over. I'm going to go about an inch above here. So this should be about a 10-inch tail. Yep, 10-inch tail. Pinch and twist, okay? Back side of the ribbon. Bringing it over. Because this was 6.5 inches on that previous layer, this layer is going to be 6 inches. I come in a 1/2 inch every layer. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this tail up. And I'm going to snip it like this. And then I'm just going to dovetail this. Okay. So we end up with a short tail, 1 loop, and then a long tail. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it from the left going over to the right. Okay, here we go. And I just kind of match the length of the other tail. That looks good. Pinch and twist so I see the back side. This was 6 inches. So bring this in at 6. Okay. Then I'm going to measure my tail a little taller than this. All right. So when I use my 1.5 inch, I'm probably going to have to do something very similar to that. All right. But now I'm going to bring this up. You'll see this is what we have here. Okay. There's nothing in the middle here. We're going to fix that with our next layer. This is at least how I like to do it. I've got my solid here. I'm just going to go with like our little solid purplish. Is that the one I want? I like this one. I really do, but the problem is it's black, got a black base, and this one has a black base. So nothing's really popping. So I'm going to use this. Dovetailing. Okay. So this will probably be a 9-inch tail. Yep. Pinch and twist. Okay, so I'm going to make 5 loops. Okay. 2 on each side and then 1 up the middle. So this is going to be at 5 inches. You're at 5 inches. Pinch and twist. 5 inches. Pinch and twist. 5 inches. Pinch and twist. For the 5th one, 5 inches. Now I'm going to bring, I know there's 5, and this is the legs are going down the same side, but that's okay. That's all right. You're never going to notice. You're never going to know. All right. Okay. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to take this middle loop here on this side, and I'm going to bring that one up to the center. Okay. There we go. So that comes into the middle. And then this one goes right between the gaps and below of the black. You don't want any of these loops to be hidden by the layer before it. Okay, and then once we're all done, that leg is going to come over. So let me show you how this looks right now. It's looking like this. Okay. Sorry, let me put a pin in it, quite literally. There we go. Sorry. If I don't do this now, it unravels and it makes a big giant mess, and then I can't function. Here we go. All right, now I'm bringing over the 1/2 inch of, this is that pattern again. Now this was that repeating pattern that was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with it? So I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to do loops and tails. So I'm bringing in about an 8-inch tail, loop. Okay, now this loop is going to be at 4 inches. Four and a half. 4.5. 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. You know, it might not be so bad though if I just have it go. No, I can't do that. Okay. Darn it. Okay, this is going to come up. I did 2 loops and 1 up the top. All right, so then what I really just need to do here is just kind of have basically kind of a straight, going straight down. I made 1 loop too many. I'm going to go this way and that way. And then I'm just going to have to go grab something real quick for the center. I want to have a little center loop. I'm not sure of what. Sorry, I'm looking at my 7/8 ribbons over there. Yeah, I'm just going to use this. This is a deluxe ribbon. Okay. Now I'm going to bend this up and down, bend it in twice. So I don't like to cut this. I bend the ends up because this is a double-sided ribbon. Cut a little bit of that fuzz off. All right, so we want to kind of see the back of it because there's the front and there's the back. Super sexy. We're just going to make a loop, okay? Just a single loop. All right, it's about 3 fingers wide. Okay, I got 3 fingers in there. And then bring this back down. Now, remember, I got to cut way lower because I want to fold this up twice, okay? There we go. All right, and it didn't even use that much, but this is a very nice deluxe ribbon. I got this from Craft Outlet. It definitely has that luxury ribbon feel. It's extra stiff. The wire on it is fantastic. Phenomenal. All right. Put that all over there. Get this all over here. And then I'm going to grab my pipe cleaners that I'm going to use to attach it. And then I'm going to grab a black zip tie. All right. Zippy, zippy, zippy. We got the zip tie. Yeah, I think 1 pipe cleaner will be enough. I was gonna take the 2 of them and wrap them together to make it easier to feed through, but I think we'll be okay. No, don't be stupid, Linda. Don't be stupid. Here we go. All right. I just don't want to have to fight to try to find the other ends of the pipe cleaner, so I'm just twisting these again to make a long one. Places like DecoExchange do sell like the super extra long pipe cleaners. You can get those from there. Okay. Now I'm scooching it up a little bit, but I've got my hand underneath. Now I'm going to push down from the top as I pull up. It is a BLT sandwich, and I don't want to lose any layers on the sandwich. Okay. BLT. I don't eat bacon or lettuce or tomato, so I guess I'll just take the bread. I'll have a grilled cheese, please. Thank you. Here we go. Okay, now before I tie it too tight, I want to go back and let's take a look. Let's kind of fluff where everything is. So I like to start from the back. Okay. Actually, here, what I'm going to do first is I'm gonna twist this once, the pipe cleaner once, just so it doesn't start sliding on the zip tie and moving around. on the wreath. Okay, so I'm going to hold it from that zip tie in the back. Now that helps me pull run your fingers down the entire length of this ribbon. Okay, whole hand down. That gives it that nice, it's going to curve backwards. It's going to lay really nicely. Okay, that's going to go up, up. This is the center. I didn't want to put another set of loops down there because this is already coming up and then it was going to get a little too congested. So that's why I did that. Here we go. And again, I have not super tightened the zip tie yet. Pull this down because we got to remember that leg that was pushed over to the one side. I got to bring that over. Pulling it over. There. And now it looks like that's where it was always meant to be. All right. And then this is our top. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. Get that underneath there. There we go. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to pull the zip tie. Extra couple of clicks. Snip it off. Now we are ready to assemble this bad boy. All right, our sign has had time to start curing. I'm still not going to pull super, super tight on it. But what I am going to do is, okay, these are on here. I wrap this especially tight because I'm going to try to get that in the center. So I'm just going to take my chenille stem and zip it right through there. Okay, that's centered. So now I'm going to pull it up and just give it a nice twist, not too tight because we don't want to pull this off. Ideally, I will do this the day before I know I'm going to be making a wreath with the sign, and I will get all that on there. But today was I'm flying by the seat of my pants kind of thing. I guess it's good that they're big pants. Here we go. Okay, got that. Got the bow. All we're missing is the wreath. Here she is. Here's Big Baby. Okay. I want to put the sign on first because then the bow can kind of go around it. So remember, this is the up and down. It's right here and right here. So I'm going to try to find a spot where I'm going to go here and I'm going to see these two are basically up and down right here. So that's how I'm going to line this up. Okay. Now, I don't want to push the mesh through anything. I'm just going to wrap. I'm going to push this right. It's going to go around the mesh ruffles that are already there. Okay, so I'm not poking it through, but I do, however, want to straddle both rings 1 and 2. Okay. Because that gives me the most support. So you can see I've literally straddled rings 1 and 2, inside and outside rings. Okay. I'm twisting this. I'm going to leave this nice and long just in case my things pop off and I got to put it back on here, make it easier. All right, then I'm just going to poke this around. Just kind of bend it around there. Just kind of wrap it around those wires. The whole point is to make sure that the wires I cut off are tucked in somewhere so that they are not, ooh, no, don't grab that. So that they are not going to poke anybody or scratch a door. We don't want that. No, no, no. But they're pipe cleaners. They're pretty handy. Okay, so this one, going to go down over ring 1. And then under the outside ring 2. I'm glad that I doubled up on the length, otherwise I would have been really struggling with this with the pipe cleaners. So okay, here we go. Now I'm tightening this one as well. I'm not squishing. You notice, I'm going to show you in a second. I'm not pulling so tight that it's squishing the mesh and ribbon. It's laying firmly on top without crushing anything. All right, and I'm just wrapping that around. Okay, now I'm checking the position of my ribbons that are around there. Okay, finding a couple little strays. I'm just going to snip real quick. Twist that back in. There we go. Okay. So this is how our sign is on here. Okay. Now we're going to talk bow. This is a big one. It's a big one. So I want to make sure that this does not come down like that. All right. We don't want to cover that. We want to come up like this. Okay. So it's kind of like resting just below that bottom loop there. Okay. So again, I am going to straddle both top and bottom rungs. This will help me have the leverage to be able to pull it backwards to make sure it's high enough. I think we're good on. I don't want to pull too tight again. I don't want to squish it into the mesh. Here we go. Twisting, twisting, twisting. I like this. This was a really nice and easy, simple beginner style wreath that you can do. I love watching people that make the really elaborate ones, but I think sometimes, you know, if you're new to wreath making, that can be a little intimidating. Be like, I can't do that. That's way too much. So we're going to start off with something simpler like this. All right, I'm going to check my loops, make sure everything looks good. These pretty ones, which I forgot to run my finger down those to get the curl. There we go. Now we got that beautiful curl. And get that purple leg. I'm going to have to tug a couple times on that one purple one that needs to come to the other side. But okay. All right, so let me make sure I like how this looks. Pulling these tails down. Oh, and I got to make sure I got to come up here too. Here we go. So sometimes there might be tails that get stuck, like they're hiding like underneath your sign. If they're not going to be seen, then pull it and adjust it. So you want to take advantage of all the materials you have. So you can just kind of give it a little tug. There we go. I think that filled that out nicely. All right, let's take a look. Here is our finished Hocus Pocus wreath. Okay, here's the front. Here's the side. So this is a little chubby bubby. Here's the back. Now what I like to do is I like to put a zip tie on the back because that's how I like to hang it. People may decide that they don't want to use it. They just want to hang with their wreath hanger. They want it to go right on that, and that's fine. Just I use little shower curtain hooks for storage and make sure that it doesn't fall off. So I just loop it right around there, right? perfect for hanging, for taking my pictures. So here we go. Very simple Hocus Pocus wreath. This was a 10-inch wreath frame that you can get from places like Craft Outlet. And then we used 2 rolls of 10.5-inch mesh. I cut 12 pieces of those at 20 inches each. We used the cruffle method. Then we made a large loopy bow, 6.5-inch loop, 6-inch loop, 5-inch loop, 4.5-inch loop, and then a little tiny 3-finger loop in the center. And the tails of the ribbons were cut at 14 inches a piece. You could also add in a third pattern if you wanted to. If you wanted to add in a 1.5-inch to the ribbon tails, you absolutely could. But I was trying to keep this more in budget. So something like this, I'm gonna have to add it up, but I probably would list this for, I would say $74.99, but that would include free, might have to be more. The shipping on this one, because this one is so tall, shipping would be more. This might be more in the 80 to low 90 category, just because the shipping is crazy. It's ridiculous. And I use pirate ship, so we'll see. But I'll have this one listed at sweetariadecor.com. Sweetariadecor.com is where I have all of my finished items listed. I also sell supplies like ribbon and signs and wreath kits too. Got lots of that out there. So thank you guys for watching. You can catch me also Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central on Facebook over here. I also have everything backed up to my Tube of You, wink wink, channel. You can check that out there. Oh, and before we go, I wanted to show you guys. These were, it's not the best, my first effort, but these are my little candy corns I made as little wreath attachments. So I'm like, I was kind of proud of myself yesterday. Burnt, but proud. So maybe one of these times I'll make a wreath with these. We'll see. All right. I'm gonna check out, make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments before I hang up. Overview, live chat. Hey, Tammy! Oh my gosh, Tammy was watching. And I think it said Keisha. I can't see. Keisha, oh my gosh. Okay, good. I'm glad you couldn't hear my daughter. She was screaming. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching me. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you guys Wednesday night. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me all over social media, and you can shop my store at sweetariadecor.com.